What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel Hookers podcast, episode 191. We got all us three clowns in front of our clown computers, right? I'm real sad that you said it before because I've had that since we saw that. I was like, oh, that's the intro for today. And then you said that and it ruined it. It made me sad.
Well, you didn't tell me.
It was going to be a surprise and I was supposed to make you laugh. You were going to laugh hilariously. Ginger was going to be like, what the fuck?
But it's been on my mind for so long. Three clowns hitting Clown Town.
Yep.
You'll
see what I got to deal with.
All three of us, the three musketeers, are back together again to talk about
I'm
all
not blind.
things. What?
That's the Mouseketeers, not the Musketeers.
I don't have my mouse tool. Can we talk about the shit from this weekend already? We had PFL. We had UFC. Oh my God, I almost spilled my coffee. We're back with goddamn everything. Everything is balanced.
This is really chaotic.
Everything is back to how it was.
This may be the best intro we've ever had.
Let's go. But unfortunately, to back up this insanely awesome intro, we got PFL to talk about, right? But honestly, to be fair, PFL did kind of pop off a little bit more than UFC Baku did this weekend, which was crazy. Kind of like, I was not expecting that at all. 24 fights this weekend, 7 finishes in total. 5 of them come from the PFL event. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, but before we get into all that, don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate everyone that does. Let's go.
What a terrible time to hit that.
Yeah, I know.
The card went dead silent.
I always expect someone to say something or like do something while I'm hitting it, just kind of help and no one.
Well, we're going to get into it. There was nothing. You left us with a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
There was. Go on.
PFL 6 World Tournament Semifinals, 155, 135, 125. We had a whole lot of stuff going down. It was terrible and awesome at the same time.
The main event was really sad.
It sucks because we knew Kevin Lee was going to get fucked up.
I knew he did, but I did not expect the first big jab to just sit him down like that. It was like watching that specifically and just the way his legs were not under him for every shot after that. Like the jab started it. Come on. Like that was just like the extra little cherry on top of like, okay, this is just a side performance from Kevin Lee.
Yeah.
So with that, Kevin Lee comes in short notice to take on Gadzhi Rabadanov in the main event for this PFL 155 semifinal bout. Gadzhi is an absolute monster. He's an insanely good fighter at 155 pounds. So it's like, we knew that it was going to be rough. One thing that they did mention like on the broadcast, where it's like, Kevin Lee has done his best work throughout his career at 155 pounds. I don't remember because I'm pretty sure he has just been fighting above it for a little bit, I believe, right? Because, last fight was welterweight. Renat was welterweight.
165, welterweight. Yeah, his last lightweight bout was Charles Oliveira.
Which he ended up missing weight in
true.
As well. So it's like, he has historically he's had the problems of making weight and like just being big at 155, but he's too small for 170 pounds. He has always been a guy that is perfect for 165 pounds. Obviously, it just, there's not a legit weight class that works there. So like with you saying of like, the first jab, like rocking him and hurting him like that, I really do wonder first time actually legitimately making weight at 155 pounds in over 5 years. I wonder if that really was just too much for him and it just stripped his chin too much. And it's not like, especially at this point, he has like some great chin or anything, but that could easily be a reason why of just one good clean shot, it just put him right on his ass.
Yeah.
The last win he had at 155 was Gregor Gillespie back in 2019.
Yeah, that was the Nate Diaz Masvidal MSG card. I remember that.
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah, it has been a very long time since Kevin Lee has done some good work in the sport of MMA. So many struggles just throughout his career of, like I said, with the weight, with just injuries, different things, and it really, like, just saying that we knew that he was going to get fucked up, but to go out there, get stopped in the first round, just looking absolutely terrible, it really was just sad to see it go down like that.
No, yeah, and exactly like what you were saying before with the 165-pound thing. Like, it's not like troubles with weight due to being like undisciplined. He's too big for 155. He's too small for 170. He's just one of those tweener fighters who isn't really catered to in the sport in terms of like having a 165-pound division. Like, just would make all the sense in the world to go from 125 up to 185 technically at that point. Just 10 pounds in between each one.
Yeah, and it's like, I just feel like too, just all the divisions to just kind of be like a tweener in. I feel like 55-70 is just like a real rough spot because, like you said, of it being that first jump of 15 pounds. So it's like, if you're too big at 155 and you're depleting yourself there are just so many monsters with just big power and like that are good strikers that it's like, if your chin is gone, your cardio is gone, like you're just gonna get mollywopped in there. And then to just now it's like, you're an undersized 170 pounder. You got motherfuckers that could be at middleweight making 170. You know, it's like like that is just a very rough position to be in, no matter the like just what organization or anything. You know what I mean? PFL, UFC, when Bellator's still around, like it just does not matter. Just super rough.
Yeah.
But so just. Obviously an insanely good win for Gadzhi Rabadanov. Probably the biggest win on his resume at this point, and just in terms of like name value. It's
two former UFC guys in his last two, and Kevin Lee and Mark DeCasey.
Yeah, Kevin Lee definitely has a bigger name than Mark DeCasey.
Yeah, Grant Premise.
You could definitely argue, like, I mean, I know November 2024, like in the championships, like it's one of those things, but like even for Brent to make it to the championships in 2024, former Bellator champ, like he's been a great guy in Bellator. That might honestly still just be like his actual best win at this point.
Yeah.
But he has been on an absolute insane streak, hasn't lost since December of 2020. Going into the finals now, taking on Alfie Davis, who got a win over Brent Primus on this card. Got the UD. Looked pretty solid in there, had like some rough moments for Alfie, but I think we all kind of figured that Gadzhi was going to win this thing, and I think coming out of the semifinal card, Gadzhi's walking home with that tournament like that.
Yeah,
he should definitely be able to beat Alfie Davis.
He
definitely should be able to.
I'm glad it's not a rematch of last year's 155 tournament.
That would be really funny. Gadzhi versus Brent again. It's like, come on, man. Just what's going on here?
That. It just would be one of those things where it's just like they're both just too good for the PFL 155-pound division.
Yep.
I mean, Gadzhi, 31 years old.
He could definitely make a transition to the UFC.
I was about to say that I would love to see him transition over to the UFC at some point.
It's one of those things, like, especially with the PFL, I know, just we've talked about it a lot and stuff, and I know you're against just like the tournament and everything, but it's like, I really feel like globally, just as a promotion and like just building up regional spots into like, I really do feel like that is their only way that they're going to sustain, because they're never going to be like a real number two, or you know what I mean, to have like actual money and ability to do big cards for like real good fighters. It is just like, it has to just be the game plan of these fighters, whether like even just new, like early on or whatever. It's like, go to the fucking smaller PFL regional tournaments, win $100,000 there, like, at the end, whatever, go into like the bigger, like, PFL tournament, maybe get like 2 seasons in there if you can, make $1 million or something off of those bonuses, and then early 30s, late 20s, like if you're in that time, like that age range, get into the UFC, because you're gonna have like a solid fan base of like decent hardcore MMA fans, and then it's like you're gonna get a decent push into the UFC, and like it, like that is just such a clear, easy path right now for some MMA fighters that it's like that it's very solid way to go about it.
Yeah, 100%.
I do agree with you on that one.
because it just makes some real solid fucking money in, like, the PFL, like, before heading over to the UFC. Like, you're going to be limited so much, like we're seeing with Dakota Dacheva, you know what I mean? But it's like, think about all that she's grown and gotten from the PFL, that it's like, bro, just superstar in the making heading over to the UFC if she does her job.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so PFL, we'll see how everything goes. But 155, we'll see how that plays out in the finals. Going on down to the co-main event, the motherfucking gorilla Liz Carmouche went out there and motherfucking did her thing, getting a win over the undefeated Elora Dana. UD, very solid win.
It was a fun scrap.
Yeah, they just really was putting it on back and forth. Elora, she's definitely just one of those things where you're 8-0 going against a fighter in Liz Carmouche, who was at the top of the UFC for the longest time, went into Bellator, absolutely ran shop through everyone, you know what I mean, and is still doing her goddamn thing in her early 40s. Like, that's a very tough task to do for a very inexperienced fighter.
Yeah, she went in with as many fights as Liz had losses.
Yeah.
Like,
what's the age difference? 15 years, 17 years?
Liz 41 and Elora 26.
Yeah, 15-year age difference. Like,
that's insane.
Goddamn, when Liz was in the prime of her fucking career, she was a little ass kid. You know what I mean? Like,
41 years old, 24-8 in her career, has not been knocked out.
Yeah,
not once.
It's pretty goddamn incredible. I just really hope that Liz could go out there and to get the win, like in the finals, be able to get like that PFL tournament win, to just, like getting the title shots in the UFC, like fought Ronda for the title, fought Valentina for the title, was never able to get it, beat so many other good fighters though, just gets the title in Bellator, defends it multiple times, and then to be able to come over into the PFL and this year, just in 41 years old, be able to grab a title in the tournament, that would just be so awesome to see.
No, yeah, I mean, she's going to be fighting Jenna Bishop, who her only losses are Dakota Dacheva and Palo Santo. So it's like, that's kind of a where does Liz still stand completely in totality right now in MMA,
Yeah, no, yeah.
So Jenna has like really dominant, wrestling and grappling. She's really good with submissions.
Yep.
But the one thing that really stood out to me in her fight against Shakalova was, while she got it done in the second round, she was breathing so heavy in between rounds and going into round 2. Like, she sorry, you just whatever you said didn't confirm.
No, that wasn't meant to be heard.
Okay. I
just forgot that Jenna Bishop is also 39 years old.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just forgot. So it's 41 versus 39.
Yeah, like, it's not like she's super young, but like, really for me, like, I'm not worried about either of their ages because they are clearly both out here still performing.
Yeah.
But it was just the way she looks so tired going into round 2. Liz is tough. So if she doesn't wrestle fucking like sub her out of there in the first 2 rounds, like, what does she look like in the back half of those fights?
Yeah.
Against someone that is clearly down to scrap. You know what I mean? It's just...
Because I also thought that, like, Liz like started to fade a bit and like looked like she started to get a little bit tired in her fight too. But it's like, if they end up in a point where it's like, just a lot of grappling or whatever, through the first 2 rounds, no one's able to, like, Jenna's not able to get anything dominant off, and it's like they both start getting tired. Because with the tournament, I'm assuming that they're going to be 5-round fights, like 3 through 5. Like, if they're both tired, Liz is definitely going to be able to have the overall skill set to get more done in those moments, I believe, to still win the decision.
And that's kind of what I thought, because like, she did look like she was slowing down, but it's like, if Jenna's not getting anything off and they keep it on the feet, Liz is going to be able to do her thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not really sure how that's going to go. But I feel like Liz definitely has a super high chance of just winning this fucking tournament.
Oh yeah, it is super live, man. I really hope so. That would be great to see. But I do think that her versus Jenna Bishop should be like a decent enough fight. Like, and it probably will be fun early on, but we'll see how that one plays out. Definitely excited for that one in August. Let's go. Featured bout. Nothing to do with tournaments, but it's got everything to do with 155 pounds and Usman Nurmagomedov, the PFL Road to Dubai Championship Series champion. I believe that's the official title of his. Archie Colgan, undefeated fighter, taking on Mansour Barnaoui in this one. Archie was able to get it done by unanimous decision. Just beat up Mansour. Was able to survive like all the grappling from him. Mansour got a shit ton of submission wins on his record. So just Archie being just a very good wrestler, just nice to see of like not getting caught up in that. Especially just like Usman, like, just definitely can wrap shit up at points. So like you want to be careful with that. But just improving to 12-0 as an undefeated fighter.
He looked really good in the fight. He was really beating Mansour up. Mansour tough as hell. Holding on to that never been finished, strong as always.
Just seventh decision loss, I believe, for him. Yeah, absolutely insane. It was like a week ago or some shit, or like a little more, that the PFL announced that this was gonna be on the card and that they were doing like that the winner of this was gonna be the next one to fight Usman or Magomedov for his title. 12-0 undefeated Archie. How are you guys feeling about his potential chances to wrestle away that undefeated record and the title from Usman?
To be fair, not great. I mean,
yep.
8-0 in Bellator, but not really any names I recognize, so I can't. And with the fight that he just had, I just feel like Usman's just better.
I get that.
Around.
How about you, Kate?
I think it's a good fight, man. I don't know. I feel like Archie is just a pretty well-rounded fighter, and he has like just shown good things throughout his fights. I'm not saying that like, oh, he's going to win this, but I think he could put up a good fight against Usman. I wouldn't be surprised if Usman does win the decision though, and is just like, has the better experience, is overall just a bit more well-rounded. Maybe the way his striking is, his kicks, just like, the fact like styles make fights type things. Like I wonder if just like on the feet, if that type of style will give him issues, and then, the ability to mix it up. But I think that Archie could definitely put up a competitive fight in there.
No, yeah. That's definitely fair. 12-0, half of his wins are decisions, half of them are finished. Definitely more decisions coming lately. I think the last 5 are by decision. So I do feel like, because I know obviously it's not like Usman is he can easily grab like decisions and stuff too, but I feel like he definitely has better finishes against like higher level guys.
Yeah, he has a first round RNC over Benson Henderson, choked out Chris Gonzalez, choked out I don't know who some of these guys are, but just finishing people in the first round in Bellator.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, it's still kind of like, definitely the harder fights for him, still like getting decisions as well. But like I just, one of those things where it's like just struggling with the finishing potential, like at the higher level. Just something that, especially against like Usman over 5 rounds, like he is definitely just extremely dynamic with his striking and the grappling. So it's like it's always just like scary when it's just like, okay, you got like an insanely good fighter in front of you, and it's like I have to be better for like 15 like of the minutes to like secure the decision and stay in there for the other, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it just sucks because it's like been watching Archie for a while, and it's just nice for him to like get this opportunity, and like I definitely like that. But it's just like the Usman Paul Hughes story just isn't finished, and I feel like we got to get through that before we move on. You know what I mean? Like, and so
like
I
said, I still think that Usman's probably going to grab it. I just think that Archie could put up a competitive enough fight that it makes just him more interesting at the top in the future.
For sure,
right?
100%. I definitely
makes sense.
And because Archie is he's only 29 years old too, so also young. Got some time on him, possibly. Just every good fighter that's just got to end up in the UFC at some point. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. But I feel like definitely the last big mention of anything, 135-pound side of the bracket in the semifinals. Bro, Jake Hadley got absolutely fucked up and worked over. I do not know how to pronounce that first name, but by motherfucking Alves. 14-4 now in his MMA career. Got the upset win over Leandro Higo in his last one.
I believe it was Marcirley, by the way.
Marcirley?
Yeah.
this dude just like Jake Hadley couldn't do shit for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He got beat the fuck up on the feet. He couldn't do shit with the grappling. I think the numbers by the end of it, like that PFL were showing, it was like 170 or something landed for Alves to like 18 for Jake Hadley.
He had like 10 times the amount of strikes. He landed 10 times the amount of strikes that Jake Hadley landed.
Yeah, landed more strikes than Jake Hadley threw. Like, it was a complete fucking domination. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, Jake Hadley, former UFC fighter. It's not like, you know, he was the greatest guy in the UFC or anything, but a very solid fighter. And just this fucking unknown dude in this tournament absolutely blasted him apart. Definitely made a name for himself in the PFL with a win with here. And bro, like Justin Wetzel looked good too, but I feel like Alves is taking this shit home. That was such a great performance.
I wonder if Jake just isn't built for the tournament style, you know? It's not like he's a guy that's super active, and when he did fight more close together, he would end up missing weight or losing fights, or you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if he's just not a guy that can just actively like be at his best every couple of months, you know?
That's fair. Because he was also a 25er too, right?
He was a 25er in the UFC.
Yeah. So it's
until
like,
I think the last fight he had when he fought Smotherman and Callum.
Yeah. And he fucking moved up and missed weight. So it definitely just rough for Jake Hadley for sure, and it just probably is just hard for him to just fight back to back like that and stuff. Even getting the 10 pounds extra, but great win for Alves though. It's just one of those things, like same shit with Jesus Pinedo, where it just like this.
Also, I think we should note that Alves is a small bantamweight at 5'4".
Bro, I didn't realize.
With the 67-inch reach. So going against Wetzel, 5'9", 71-inch reach. Not the craziest different. Oh, I guess 61. I mean, 67 to 71 is kind of still big.
Yeah.
He's a lot smaller than him too.
That could be rough, but I'm rooting for Alves. Let's fucking go.
Hell yeah.
Alves is definitely, I feel like maybe someone who's a 25er, but they don't have a 25.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
and it's like a lot of guys too with just trying that tournament with just like having to fight fast, like they just be going up 10 pounds too because they can't cut weight like that.
No, he's been fighting. Hey, I'm wrong.
Just been a bantamweight.
At least in Bellator, like before that, some of them aren't showing
flyweight for a while.
What he weighed at? No, that's a 35 fight as well. Damn, he's just 35er.
Very nice. Speaking of 135 pounds, though, last mention, alternate fight for the tournament. Magomedov took on undefeated Savardjan Kamadov. Magomed gets the unanimous decision. Bro, that was a rough ass fight for him.
Yeah,
that was. I don't think he should have gotten that decision. I don't know about that. That seemed like, I don't know, like Savardjan's corner was absolutely baffled at the end of it. Like,
not a delusional baffled.
But that just a very close fight. Ends up getting the edge in it, but Savardjan ends up losing his O, but he is definitely an extremely solid fighter, and he is someone to look out for, like, just over time. Like, I would not be surprised if he does some good things eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
Isn't he young too, like 27? 28.
I was about to say he's not young, but he's not old.
Yeah. Definitely got plenty of years to get some stuff done for sure, though, at a high level. But that was the PFL card, though. Not much more to talk about from there, but pretty fun overall.
Yes, it was.
Now let's talk about the bullshit, the sad shit, and the disappointing shit, right? But also some pretty goddamn cool shit.
This wasn't the worst card.
It wasn't.
It really wasn't.
But it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. That is.
Yeah.
It, like, we always start at the main event and everything I want, and but I really don't want to start there, honestly.
Where do you want to start?
I want to start with the one fight that was so goddamn incredible that they got all the bonuses because they fucking deserved it. And it was just funny too because of just watching it, making the joke of like, these two are putting on such a great fight for a combined $60,000. Like, how nice. Well, at the end of it, Dana was just like, fuck it. They're getting all the bonuses, $100,000 to each of them. Nazim, Sadykhov, and Nikolas Motta. Bruh, they deserve that. I'm so happy for both of them to get that. And what a fucking war that was,
Hell
man.
Yeah. 100%.
That shit really was a banger. It only lasted almost 2 rounds, but like you said, they really did deserve it. And I love seeing shit like that. So exactly what you said. There are a lot of people that they put on great fights, but they are not paid for these great fights, especially at 155, where it is just bangers of fights. You put 2 people like that, and it's like, bro, I love that for them. But that was insane.
Yeah.
They're both monsters, but Nazim Sadykhov is one tough son of a bitch.
Yep.
Because that first round, the way that Motta was ripping his body, and like the fact that he dropped a couple of times, like just like put himself to the ground real quick, like, okay, recuperate, stand up. Motta just has him on the cage, just throwing hook after hook. And he's like, gotta roll, they gotta roll, gotta stay alive, and survived to come back and war it out round 2 and get him the fuck out of there. Yeah. Like, bro.
Because it was like after that moment when like he just went down on the cage and like came back up, was able to survive, and then like started walking forward. Like he was easily the one that was in control at that point. Motta started to get tired. You could see it, but it was still such vicious shots coming from Motta that like I said it's just like Nazim is obviously winning this now. But at any moment, I can like someone's just gonna drop dead to the floor. Like someone's gonna land a shot, face plant. Like it's just gonna be over. And then 4:17 of the second round, Nazim just lands a right hook to Motta up on the cage, and he just dropped. Didn't go face first, but dropped real bad. Like that fight was done.
Yeah.
And like, oh my god, man, that. And then just to. Like it's one of those things too. Like they're in motherfucking Baku. Nazim from Azerbaijan just goes out there after a knockout win like that, after coming back through a war, and to just hit the fucking dance. The crowd goes crazy. What an amazing fucking moment. Like it's stuff like that where it's like I can't even imagine what just that moment feels like for him as a person. You know what I mean? It's like that's gotta be like the shit where it's like. Where like the reason why of like through all like the knockouts, weight cuts, all the terrible things of the sport, why motherfuckers still do it to like just the emotions, the adrenaline, and to like have those highs like that. You know what I mean? Like just truly incredible.
No, yeah, for sure. And especially because it's like he had the draw with a Slava Claus back in November of 23, was supposed to fight twice in it was on the same night, but like, it's had 2 different opponents lined up, both of them ending up pulling out. So we never got to fight last year. Comes in this year, February, and, gets the finish over Bonfim, the doctor stoppage, like a really good win.
Yep.
And now here he is a couple months later with just another great win. Puts him at 4-0 in the UFC. Obviously the 1 draw 2, but like, it's just, that's fucking awesome. Like 31 years old. This is the time to be doing this impressive shit and get him into the rankings. Like, as long as he holds up, of course. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's like, and just, like you said, like 4-0-1 in the UFC. And it's one of those things where it's like, obviously, like, he's coming in. He's not fighting top 15 guys or anything. But it's like, you are 5 fights in the UFC. You fought Terrence, like fucking T-Rex Terrence McKinney. You fought Slava. You fought Ismail Bonfim. You fought Nikolas Motta.
And Evan Elder in his debut.
Evan Elder in the debut. And you have come out on like not with a loss out of any one of them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, bro, it is like that's why we talk about 155, and it's so hard to go on streaks and to like for there to be someone where you're like, this is the guy that's coming up and doing something, because it's like for a like it's just hard to do that because all these fights are just so rough no matter who it is. And it's like it wouldn't be surprised if he gets a step up and ends up taking a loss or something. You know what I mean? But it's like Nazim's gonna do some shit in his fucking career in the UFC.
Shit.
Oh
yeah. Just I definitely felt that obviously that was easily the best shit from the card, but with just both of them getting the $100,000 bonus and everything, I just felt like that was the place to start with this, because that it wasn't the main event, but that was the high moment on the card. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. And especially for Motta, because going out like that, it's like, not only did you get fight of the night, but you still because he got the other, right? Because if it's 100,000, it's 50 to both. So it was
because they do like 2 performance bonuses for 50, and then the fight of the night, which is 50K to each fighter. So they always do 200,000 like in bonuses. So that's why they just gave 100K to each of like all the bonuses. To them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they basically each got fight of the night and a performance. bonus.
Yep.
Sorry, because I was gonna say that, and then I was like, wait, are those the right numbers? But that's what it has to be. So either way, though, I'm happy for him that you got fight of the night, but you also got that because that was fucking awesome.
And because that's where it's just like saying too, where it's like, how tough it is. And like, obviously like Motta, he's not like some great fighter either, but he's not bad at all. 3-3, 1-0 contest in the UFC. Like it's fucking hard, bro. Like
and he puts on a fun fight every single time. I ain't never seen him in a boring fight.
Hard to do the damn thing in this division. But now let's move on to the main event. I was pretty goddamn surprised by this, not gonna lie.
Yeah, in the preview to this, Ginger was on Khalil's side, and I was like, I don't know, I feel like Jamal could get it done. Jimmy felt the same way, and clearly we were wrong.
Because I really thought that it was going to be like the puncher's chance type for Khalil to be able to get it done over Jamal. Where it's like he's got incredible Muay Thai. He's super like powerful. He throws really good just like when he goes forward with like just big shots and like the hands and like throwing his kicks, like those are mean, devastating strikes. I know. But in my head, the boxing of Jamal was just going to be cleaner. It was going to be more thorough. He's way more proven over 5 rounds against better fighters than Khalil. I really thought that it was just going to be enough to get it done.
Yeah, because when the first round started and Khalil walked out there and said leg kick hammer fist, I was like, this is why Jamal's gonna win. This is what I was talking about. Me
and Ginger are going back and forth talking shit, and that happened, and I lost it. I'm like, you're fucking telling me this guy's gonna fucking win. 50-45 is almost across the board.
I was about to say, and then what happens? 50-45 across the board. And it was the things that... No, I know. But
we were clearly wrong, and you were obviously right. Like the leg kicks were such a huge factor, just like everything. But when it started out like that, I was like, "This is what I thought was like." And Jamal's just gonna jab him up, keep his distance. It's gonna be fine.
The best part about it,
immediately,
me and him were going back and forth, and there was a lot of things I was joking about because I said Khalil has better leg kicks, better straight shots. Better tattoos, better facial hair. He goes out and throws that hammer fist. She was like, better straight shot. And I'm just like, did I say straight shots? I meant hooks. But no, the things I was saying in the podcast were that the leg kicks were going to be the biggest difference and the body work was going to be the biggest difference. And that's kind of what ended up happening. Where the leg kicks just took Hill out of it just because he had to go from southpaw to orthodox. And he is not used to fighting out of the orthodox stance. And anytime he switched back, his leg was getting eaten up for it.
Yeah.
And so because I'm pretty sure that there are times that Hill will switch stance and do that, but it's I feel like it's one of those things where he's not like a Corey Sandhagen with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's very fluid in both. It's he has certain things that he's trying to do that he might switch stance for. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, specific combos for it.
Yeah. Orthodox was not the game plan or the stance that he wanted to fight Khalil in. And with just getting his legs blasted apart, that just started to change shit very early for him. Because it's I know in the first round, you were saying of just the reactions, that every time Khalil hit him, he was getting a big reaction. I did think that when Jamal was landing leg kicks, he was also getting good reactions from Khalil too, also stumbling him, you know what I mean? And I thought that it was kind of on par with each other, but just as the time went on, it was just so different, the impact that they actually had on each other. And it just, that really made a difference. And then with just anytime Jamal wanting to actually commit and go in on something, Khalil with just the big counter shots just always put him he had to just be careful. He had to just stay safe and not get as much going because it was just way too dangerous firepower coming back from him throughout the entire fight.
And the biggest thing is even when he was going when Khalil was going in, his feints were getting such huge reactions, and Jamal Hill with the thing that I hate of tall man defense of completely lean back, He leaves your leg exposed. He leaves your body exposed. He kept going to the body with his leg with straight shots and jabs. When he would do that, he would go to the legs, chop him down. Like that's just what kept happening. And then anytime he didn't have a reaction like that, he came over the top with a right hand or a couple hammer fists on it as well. But hey, they were effective.
It was just a very solid 25-minute performance from Khalil Rountree Jr. for sure.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, with just saying of like, just learning from like the Poatan fight and like all of that, I really feel like because like haven't like listened to anything of what he said, like, you know, post fight or like exact game planning or anything. But I feel like just a big thing that he did in this fight that was just very different from the Poatan one was he just trusted in his power and his like just ability in his striking. So instead of just like early on going and just like, oh, big like powerful guy, I gotta put these big shots on you, and just like overexerting himself so much to when like in the Poatan fight rounds 3 and 4, now he started to slow down. Poatan able to take over as the better striker. He just he always kept within himself when he needed to, and then like went like at the moments that were impactful. So he like he had moments of going forward, landing like a couple of shots and like going forward, but he never did it too much to get tired. Was able to maintain the pace over 25 minutes and just constantly stay dangerous, to where Jamahal was just like he was just constantly taking big shots throughout the rounds, constantly taking more damage, and was just never able to get going and do more because Khalil was just always there and he never got tired. Like just the pacing of himself and believing in his like just actual ability striking, that it just felt like just a big difference in this fight.
No, yeah. And like you look at the like breakdown of where he landed his significant strikes: 30 to the head, 42 to the body, 30 to the leg. Like, even split between head and leg. Now, he threw a lot less to the leg, but you're always going to throw leg. You threw 90 leg kicks and only landed 30. I'm like, bro, stop throwing so many.
Not yet.
But, yeah, 29% of his... My target was 29% to the head, 29 to the legs, 41 to the body. Like, just very much head to toe, hit everything.
Yeah. And because, like, it was just, like, you know, curious of, like, you know, saying, I was like, like, let me just check the stats. And, like, in the first 2 rounds of the Poatan fight, he attempted 42 strikes, like, in both of them. First 2 rounds of this one, like, much more control and just, like, and everything. 30 strikes round 1, 35 strikes round 2. So, you know, like, just kept then the 29 round 3, 30 round 4, and then 57 he picked it up. Like, they were just, you know, like, going after it much more. But, like, just kept way more consistent and thorough just throughout the fight to like have just a better pace with it. And super good performance. I just seeing like just a lot of people like just fighters and shit like talking shit online and stuff like about it, but like it's like it wasn't some crazy like insanely fun fight or anything, but like I don't know, I wasn't fucking like sitting there throughout it like, Yong, this fight fucking sucks. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a good technical fight between 2 guys in the top of the division. Like, you don't get barn burners in every single one. Just sometimes you just get a very solid performance of someone fighting very thoughtfully. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So definitely good for Khalil. Believe he was number 7 coming into this one, and
Jamal
5.
4.
Ranked number 4. So he'll get himself a top 5 ranking come Tuesday. And just nice to see him rightfully get that, you know, with like getting the shot against Poatan, just very undeserving, but everyone just kind of wanted it and wanted to see it for him. So to come off that performance, just actually like get better and cement himself as one of the top guys in the division, it's just great to see from him.
No, yeah. Then like up next for him, like either Olberg or Prohaska.
Give him Jan.
What's Jan doing? You know what I mean? I don't know.
If anything, I want to see Jan Reyes too. I think Reyes gets him this time.
We don't need to do that just in case. We don't need to repeat the end of Reyes' career. Come on, man. Come Because I do like the thing that sucks is I love the Khalil Yuri fight. It's great, but we let Yuri rebuild a bit. You know what I mean? Like, I know that he just beat Jamahal, and so it's like, yeah, he just got like a top win like Khalil, but it's like, just let him, like, let some stuff happen in the top of the division before he just easily earns the title shot again. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, you go, like, Khalil's going to be a top 5 fighter. You go out there, give him Khalil. He gets a win over Khalil. He's got a win over 2 fucking top 5 guys in a row. He's going to be the obvious next title fight, no matter who the champion is. He goes out there and loses. He's going to want to retire again. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need that for Yuri.
The thing is, everything I've seen in the rumor mill at the moment is Yuri versus Olberg is what's being planned for. So
I just don't get the point of doing stuff like that. There's not enough going on at the top of 205 to just be like, either, putting Yuri right on track to get it, potentially lose it, and then, you know what I mean? And then Olberg, who has not been at the top and is the next new guy, potentially just throw it away for him. If he gets the win, obviously that's good. You know what I mean? But then it's just bad for Yuri. Like, it's just, I just don't get it. When things are jam-packed, like 170, sure, sometimes you just got to get things done. But it's like 205, I don't know. Just give people new fights, even if it is back, and throw them into the title after that. Like, don't kill everyone's chances in one fucking shot.
Because it's like, because, you know, obviously, like, Poatan should get, like, the instant title rematch, but it's like, if he doesn't want it on a timeline that, like, the UFC wants, you know, like, Magomed to, like, fight, and, like, you know, and he wants to fight, they should just give Olberg the title shot. Like, that should just, like, he just beat Yong, like, just go and do that. But if they're gonna go back to him, like, Ankalaev Poatan too, then I feel like Khalil Olberg would just be like the better fight of, like, you know what I mean? Because then it's like, I more than likely Ankalaev probably just beats Poatan again, you know? So then it's like, no matter who wins that fresh matchup for, you know, Magomed, and then just give Yuri like fucking Uzdemir or some shit. Just, it don't matter. Let him just fucking beat some people, you know? Let him go on like a nice solid 4-fight win streak to get another title shot. Like,
all right, I got an idea. Prohaska versus Reyes 2.
God, what the?
Like, do people see the evilness in Ginger's soul like we do?
Like, I'm about to walk the fuck out of here. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, technically, Reyes knocked Yuri out before Yuri knocked him out.
Exactly.
Yeah, but when Yuri goes out, he comes back up. When Dom goes out, he stays down. Oh, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens, but that would kind of suck if they went to Yuri, because then it's like, we'll see what happens though. But Jamahal should fight like Uzdemir or something.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one for him. I feel like that's a very winnable fight for him to try and get back on track and get some wins underneath him, you know. Because now just pretty rough spot of a 3-fight losing streak now. Lost to Poatan, lost to Yuri, loses to Khalil.
Should be something along the lines of Jamahal versus Uzdemir, Azamat Murzakanov versus Alexander Rakic, Khalil versus like Olberg, Yuri versus like Nikita Krylov.
Nikita's fighting Bogdan, but
I know, but fights the winner of Bogdan versus Nikita.
But it's like give some guys in the back some opportunity. Stop, like, it's one of those things where it's kind of like the 155 thing, where it's just like you got all these guys at the top that are clearly better than the guys below them, and they're all fucking exciting fighters, you know, that like people want to see, like, you know, with a lot of them. So it's just like they just like, okay, repeat, like, just do the same shit over again, because that's the bigger fight, so it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter how many title fights, how fast Yuri gets if he loses or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, he's gonna get us the more money quickly, so fuck his career, you know? Like, just one of those things. But yeah, so we'll see what goes on with the 205-pound division, but going on to 155. Like I said, it's kind of like it, but this fight was not as it's kind of like the main event too, not as good as I thought it would be. I thought it would just be much more of a banger. Just much more war back and forth. Just
I agree, but I also fully understand why this one went the way it went.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have Fiziev, who's on a 3-fight losing streak. We've gone over it so many times. It's twice to Gadzhi, one of those being short notice, and then the fucking injury mid-Gamrot fight where it just like sucks that that's counted as TKO loss. But that puts you on a 3-fight losing streak. And then you have Ignacio, who's young. He's got himself on a 3-fight winning streak. He's making his way into the top 15 with this fight. So like this is his chance to like show out and do some good things so that he can really start like cooking and, you know, potentially work towards the title. They both have things at stake and they both have things on the line, and they're like, no, like I need to win this fight. You know what I mean? So like it really showed in the first round of just the respect for each other in their striking and just everything. And Fiziev just showed that he was just better, you know, and like I kind of said it before the fights happened where I was just like, I think that a big part of Fiziev's plan is just going to be work that body. Like Ignacio is much taller than him, whatever. And that was exactly what Fiziev did immediately. And I feel like Ignacio knew that he lost round 1. And so round 2, he's like, no, I have to go out there and put it on him. And he was just unable to and got frantic. And I feel like he just kind of lost his plan a little bit. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's probably exactly what happened. Yeah, Fiziev landed 40% of, landed by target. So 40% to the body, 50 to the head, 9 to the legs. Which the legs is a little low for his normal standard. Usually at least in like I think the 20s for leg kicks.
I kind of get it though, because I feel like obviously you normally think like tall lanky guy, you know what I mean, that it's like okay, kick out the legs, but Ignacio isn't much of a mover, so it's not like, you know what I mean, it's kind of like he's planted, and then it's also like you got a tall lanky guy that it's like it's with the height difference and everything. I feel like he was probably worried about like just like the jabs and straight shots off of the leg kicks, because him landing a leg kick, like he's in range for those counters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Fiziev was doing a really good job at staying at the range he needed to, because he had Ignacio swinging on air. Bruh, how many spinning kicks did Ignacio throw that Fiziev's just whoop? He missed every single one of them. Yeah. Like you would think that, as the taller, longer fighter, he could find his jab, he could find his range, and he just couldn't. Fiziev had that good game plan of, staying back enough so that when he throws a shot, he can easily back up. He's not going to get caught up in it, but moving in close enough to land his shots and being too close that Ignacio's too long to really land like, a nice clean inside, and just, Fiziev was just truly the better fighder. Like,
like you said, it just everything that Fiziev did show, because like you said, of just being at the range of because Ignacio just not being a big mover, so Fiziev found it immediately in the first round the perfect range of just every time Ignacio throws, just okay, I'm the faster, more explosive guy, I'm right out, I want to go, I'm right in, touch. Like it was, and honestly seeing like the overall like accuracy after it for Ignacio being in the 30s, I honestly thought that it was going to be like a smaller number, but it was really like the first and third round where it was playing like he got in the 20% accuracy, because that was, like you were saying, of Fiziev just working the body in and out, just sticking to that game plan. And it just, Ignacio had nothing for it. He had no answers. He was getting countered. And then, like you said, of going more in the second round, trying to do more, Fiziev got a bit away of like, just being consistent of like in and out to the body or whatever. But then when he was just like, because Ignacio was going more opening up, that just opened up more shots to the head, Fiziev to be able to open up more all around. And he just, like you said, clearly the better fighter, shut him down pillar to post, and just could not hang in the striking with him for 15 minutes.
Because then it was like you tried switching it up, going for that takedown, Fiziev easily stuffing it, and then just felt like he was playing with him, just taking him down, no problem, sitting him on his ass, kind of like, landing a shot and then standing up, staring at him like, get up, and just to do it again. Like, it was a rough fight for Ignacio.
Because he scored 3 takedowns in it, I'm pretty sure?
No, he went 4 for 4, and Ignacio 4. Over 2. 2 in the second round, 2 in the third.
But because, there was like, it was like one of the first takedowns or whatever, where it's like, I'm just like, bro, you're gonna like, you're even gonna fucking play into that at all, of like just giving the opportunity for Ignacio to catch your neck, you know what I mean? Like just like that pucker up moment, and then it was just like, just didn't matter. And I was just like, okay, like he's fine. You know what I mean? But absolutely. It just sucked because it's like, want to see Ignacio be able to come up, get into the rankings, start moving, doing his thing.
But I said it, Ignacio's 27. I wanted to see Fiziev break his losing streak way more.
That's the thing. It's like, I don't want to see that on a 4-fight, like on him on a 4-fight losing streak. But it's like, for him to just go out there and shut him down like that, that was just awesome to see, man. Just motherfucking awesome for Fiziev. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
No, yeah, 100%.
And because I know, like, you know, we didn't really like afterwards talk about it too much of just like him fighting like who next or anything too much. But like, I know I saw that like you posted it with like on the Instagram, him versus Dan Hooker. I was just like, damn, that's a fucking really goddamn good fight. Yeah. I hate it for both of them because it's like, it's just one of those, I'm like, fuck.
But it's low key the fight that makes sense at 155. Because that was the fight that me and Ginger had talked about. And it's just like, yeah, because Dan Hooker, obviously tough. Both of them are tough. That's a hard fight for both of them. But Dan Hooker, while being number 6, you know, he had that top 5 win, he beating Gamrot and stuff. It's like, he's also not Gaethje. He's not Poirier. He's not Oliveira. You know, he's like just right outside like that top 5 of like, you know. So it's just a really good test of like, Fiziev, are you ready for this? You know, like, are you actually here? Like, you took the last Gaethje fight short notice, so you know, like, whatever. The first one was a majority decision. Like, you clearly had a close fight with him. Like, how much have you learned? Dan Hooker's a hell of a fight. How's it gonna go?
I know. Yeah.
But it just kind of sucks because it seems like with this one, Fiziev tried to be smarter in his fight. He wasn't going out there like, so crazy. He was being a bit more patient, but he's gonna have to war with Dan. So I don't know how that's going to play into him like trying to build as a fighter. So maybe after this fight, maybe I don't agree with the Dan Hooker one anymore.
Because then it's just one of those things. Because it's like, that is just a rough fight for him. And then it's like, he goes out there, loses to Dan Hooker. And now it's like, now you've lost 4 of your last 5 fights and your only win is against someone not in the rankings. You know what I mean? It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, let these guys build up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
let's have him fight back again and he can fight Benoit.
Oh, fuck. You're going to do that to Benoit.
I was going to say, let's not do Benoit. Let's do Michael Chandler.
I would like honestly seeing that, like, I would be fine with something like that. I feel like that's a fucking because that's a fight where like Fiziev, obviously he's not the same name of a Justin Oliveira, but like from the tier below that, he's in there with those guys. So it's like Chandler losing to Patty, you know what I mean? It's like he ain't got no right to call for any sort of like a big name. So like that's the biggest name that Chandler should be getting right now, and that's a great fucking fight.
Yeah.
It's like, I do think that's a solid one in it because it's like
I just always skip over him. I don't know why.
I get it because with it's like the Dan Hooker fight,
because he calls out
5 rounds. 5 rounds, Dan Hooker wins that, no problem. I feel
doesn't have to be 5 rounds.
That should be a 5-round fight,
or it could be a 3 rounds on a pay-per-view.
That would be kind of like it. That should be a 5-round fight though.
3 rounds on a pay-per-view.
Winner gets a title shot, but that's how it should be.
Whatever.
All right. Great win for Fiziev. Ignacio, it's 155, and he lost his first ranked fight, so it's back to the old grind of 3 wins in a row, more than likely, before he gets another opportunity.
But it was number 11, so, you know, they might not go too far back.
Yeah, it's...
Number 11, Fiziev. Pushed back because of the streak he's on, so like who knows the type of respect he'll be given there. Like, I don't think he's gonna get a number 15 like or a top 15 guy, but like I just don't think he's gonna go super far behind, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if he catches 2 more wins and we see him in, you know what I mean.
Like, it definitely just like depends on like the opportunities able to get in, like whatever, but it's just one of those things where it's fucking it could just be really hard sometimes to get that opportunity at a top 15 guy, so you know what I mean. So to see how it goes.
Farasiam is the name. Nasrat Haprast is a great name as well. Both those should be fun fights.
Yeah, definitely. Both of those would be good to see. Let's go. Going on down to the featured bout, though. 3rd time's the charm, right? Curtis Blaydes versus Rizvan Kuniev. Definitely not the fight I was expecting, for sure.
No.
Curtis Blaydes gets it done by split decision. I'm not mad at the decision at all. I do feel like Curtis probably should have gotten it. Pride rules, though. Rizvan won that fight. Easy lemon squeezy.
Yeah.
Will agree
and
with
I do
you
think
on
that
one.
that's where we're getting, because I even said that for myself. Like when it came to round 3, that's why I would have given Rizvan round 3 is because the early shots and damage were just more impactful. But realistically, Curtis did so much more. Yeah. And it's not like he did get knocked down from the shot. It's not like he was like so wobbled that it was like, holy shit, he's a zombie on his feet for a second. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He might not have gotten the takedowns, but he did have over 2 minutes of control time, and he landed 61 shots to the 19 from Rizvan. So it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, it might not have been as impactful, but he definitely won that round.
And then what the significant was 30-13, I think?
28-13.
28-13. But yeah, so it's still landing over double the amount of significant shots. Still had good shots of his own that looked like it hurt Rizvan in that round. You know what I mean? So it's like, but that fucking second round, man. That
was a rough one.
That was so rough for Curtis.
Yeah,
Kuniev has some real good moments of going in there with just good boxing combos, real powerful shots he's able to land. Like he is tough. He's got a good chin, and he definitely's got some power in his hands, man. Like with how good he looked in this one, I still do wonder if it's one of those things of, obviously, UFC, it's not like they're the biggest fans of Curtis Blaydes or anything, and like Rizvan is making his UFC debut. They're going to this fight so much, like seemingly, it seems like one of those things where it's like with like Movsar and Aaron Pico, like they want this guy that could have a very good style to beat this top guy that they don't really like, and they want to get him out, So it's like I feel like this was kind of that same thing. I don't really know how he'll stack up against some of the other styles in the heavyweight division in the top 10, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to do some good work overall.
No, yeah, for sure.
No, yeah. 100%. Be interesting to see where they put him.
Yeah.
Definitely
for Curtis, yeah.
And then Curtis, it's...
I don't know what the fuck the UFC does after this because of just how the fight went down, how he split decision, just with this. But like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's fighting Mick Perkin next. That's who they'll give him. They're like, hey, you beat a guy making his debut. How about number 13?
See, I was like,
they wouldn't give him a winnable fight.
This is why I wasn't this is why I didn't make a fight, because I was like, are they gonna do? They're gonna do Curtis versus Shamil next? Like,
bro, that's fucking possible. Something like that is definitely possible. Or like a Waldo or something. Like I feel like he's gonna get
Waldo's fighting Sergey Pavlovich.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yep. But yeah, so like something like that. That's definitely they're gonna give him one of the guys coming up that they feel like can beat him. You know what I mean?
It's like if Taliesin does beat Derek Lewis, they'll probably give him Taliesin.
Yep. Yeah. Like that's the kind of fight that's coming next for Curtis Blaydes, and more than likely, like unless they do fucking. Like, unless they believe in Volkov this time around, and with how the first fight went, it's like he's gotten better. Curtis Blaydes isn't looking as great lately. Maybe he gets stuff all more of the takedowns and win the fight over 5 rounds this time. You know what I mean? Because they did say that they want to give do something for Volkov after that robbery of a decision against Cyril. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough fight for him for sure. There's no doubt about that. But yeah. And for Kuniev, I know you saying Ginger just like before of like either like Tab or Spivak. I feel like one of those would be a good test for him. See where he's at.
Yeah.
Let's go. Heading on down the main card. 2 more fights or 3 more fights on that, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mekdebek Orolbai came in as a fat boy
again.
Yeah. Made it a catch weight, 165 pounds. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. He's got to get that shit under control. Dana White does not like that, and he is.
I was just gonna say, Dana is not happy. Because he was asked like, why didn't Mekdebek get a performance bonus with a first-round Kimura over Safik? And he's like, the guy that came in 10 pounds overweight, dude. And he was talking about how dude came up to him talking about, I'm going to be a champion one day. And Dana's response was, you need to get your weight together because this is his 4th fight in the UFC, and this is the 2nd time he has missed weight. He fought at 170 one time, 155 at the other time. Catch weight's the other 2.
Yep, the last 2. Like that's the biggest thing. Like twice in a row.
Yeah.
That Dana really doesn't like it when it's a persistent issue. Makes me think maybe Mikdebek needs to just go up to 70.
But he would just be so small there. He's 5'10" with a 74-inch reach.
I
just another guy like how we were talking about Kevin Lee earlier.
Yeah.
Because like he's all I could think about the whole time. Just someone else that would probably really benefit from a 165 division.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't disagree with it. It's just one of those things where, unfortunately, we don't have that division, and we're never probably going to have that division.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I know. But what I'm saying, like, for him is that, yeah, it's rough because I don't know what he does. Like, I wonder if he just really doesn't feel comfortable, like, fighting at 170 and just keeps thinking he can make the weight. In the last two, he didn't. Like, he has made it before. And I wonder if he just feels more comfortable, like, and not as drained. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. But clearly the last two fights have not gone well.
I'm just trying to, like, look at him, and it's like, what does he, like, have to do to make 155? Like, what can he peel off? You know what I mean? Like,
no idea. Who knows if it's just like, who knows what the answer could be? Just don't know what he's doing in camp and everything in the lead up. So it could be so many different possibilities.
Yeah.
But either way, Mikdebek, he ended up getting a first round Kimura over Tafik Musayev, who's making his UFC debut, coming over from Bellator. Very good, solid fighter, a little bit on the older side. But Musayev just got absolutely dominated in this fight. Just instantly taken down, was just dominated. He was able to get up a few times, but just got taken down again. And then once Mikdebek started to set up that Kimura, it was just like, oh yeah, he's fucked. Cranks it. And what for a second I wasn't sure if he was like gonna tap or anything. I was like, bro, you're just gonna let him fucking rip your shit off? Or like, and then he you saw him just in the pain and agony on his face, and then he ends up tapping. It was like, oh god.
Well, part of it was like his arm was trapped under Mikdebek's leg, so it's like he couldn't tap any earlier than he did, where the ref would have seen it.
Even when he got it out, he still waited a second. Like,
and
but I do agree that it was trapped. So maybe, but yeah,
you could always fucking say tap verbal. So like that's a I don't know. There have been plenty of times just rolling. I'm all wrapped up and shit, and it's like I ain't getting nothing broken. Tap tap tap. I'm like, I don't. But yeah, that shit. I really thought his shit was gonna get cranked off though for a second. That was gonna.
I thought we were about to have a Mir and a Big Knock situation. Yeah.
But yeah. So Orolbai definitely has to get his shit on. But we'll see what happens with them.
And I wonder how much of a role that did play in this fight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was just way dominant and strong.
Yeah.
Musayev could not do anything. So it's like, you're a 55er and you're fighting up 10 pounds. That could easily make a difference, especially when you were preparing to cut weight and everything, So
probably cut a decent amount of weight before getting that notice, like, hey, he's going to be... So then you have to rehydrate back up. He did come in at 163.
Yeah. So
he was probably already down to like a 158, 157 type situation. It's like, the fuck.
Yep. So we'll see how all that plays out. Already talked about Nazim, Nikolas, Motta, and then Muhammad Naimov, Bogdan Naimov, the UD win. I was not around to watch this one. I don't know.
It wasn't a big fight. It wasn't super impressive, honestly. That's really all I have to say about it. Naimov, I guess, was just like doing a little more on the feet, was able to stuff a lot of the takedowns, you know what I mean? But overall, Bogdan actually didn't look that bad and gave him probably a harder fight than he should have, but he got the decision.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mainly gave him a hard time in that second round. That's the round that I had Grad winning.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, first and third definitely went to
Naimov, yeah.
Oh yeah, just another fight on the card. Goes to finishes at all. That is everything on the main card, though. The prelims.
I feel like there's really only one thing to talk about.
Iron Turtle?
The Iron Turtle.
Let's go!
Like, most notable fight and easily just crazy because he was fighting Ismail Nardiev, and Ismail was piecing him up in the first round. He pokes him in the eye in 2 rounds, but it was the second round that shit happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Park was clearly on the ground, knee down, and Ismail just blasted him with a knee that cut open his eye, had him fucked up.
Yep.
The ref did great things and, brought in the translator so that there was no miscommunication, let his eye get all cleaned up, gave him the full 5 minutes to recover. Iron Turtle said he wants to fight. Ref takes 2 points from Ismail for that shit, and he went out there and went to work. And ended up just winning round 3-2 and easily won the decision.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I thought it was going to be over because he had every right for it to be over. It was clearly a huge knee. But just took his time, fought through it, and did great things.
Yeah. 2 29-26s and 1 29-25.
Yeah. Because the first 2 rounds, it was like Nardiev was easily winning in the beginning. You know what I mean? It was better. But then as the round started to go on, Park just started to pick it up and just start getting some of the better work done. So it was just like, after the first 2 rounds, it was just like, these were close rounds, just like not really sure how exactly like they might have been scored at all. And then, just third round, Park was like, fuck this shit. Like, and just instantly just started dominating him. It made it clear like that he won that round, no problem. So like with the 2 points, like as long as he won that third round, like then it didn't matter how the others got scored. He was going to win it. And
and the only round he lost was round 2.
Yep. So didn't even need the third round. Still went out there like just the. I really was just expecting him to be too fucked up from it and just wanted him to get the DQ win. So to be able to like tough it out, still go out there and then have a performance in the third round like that, that's so awesome for him, man.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Ginger, anything from the prelims that you want to bring up?
Do I do it?
No.
So that's a yes.
Claudia Segula and how she beat up the Russian Ronda.
Nah, dog.
Put out good numbers.
Nah, dog. That ain't it.
101 significant strikes. Was just piecing her up for 3 rounds. It was
those are some good numbers.
But that ain't it.
Alexieva had absolutely nothing for her. The submission girl went up for absolutely no wrestling or takedowns at all.
No, dog.
That's what we're talking about.
Not that.
So Muhammad Usman and Hamdy.
Hamdy got robbed.
What do you have to say?
Hamdy did not get robbed. Oh, I just want to talk shit about how ass the heavyweight division is.
Hamdy got robbed.
How did he get robbed?
I'm just saying it. I don't gotta explain it.
Explain yourself.
Nah. Nah, dog.
He got outstruck in the second and the third. Barely. How? Didn't land any takedowns.
So, numbers
how could he have won?
Only tell a part of the story.
If there's other parts of the
story. Yeah, and Muhammad Usman was fucking him up.
Fucking up is a strong way to put it, I'd say.
He was fucking him up.
Muhammad Usman was surviving for his life out there against Hamdy.
At some moments. Yeah, like I don't know where his feet were the whole fight.
Yeah, I really don't. His center of gravity,
man, that shit blasted him. He was not ready for it, and he was fucked from there.
For real, it looked like his center of gravity was like 2 feet in front of him.
Yeah,
like I really do feel like that was just like the factor. It was like within 10 seconds of the first round, such a big reaction, and then it was just every exchange. It was just such wobbly legs underneath him that but it was still good enough to sadly take the O from Hamdy Abdelwahab. Add him to the list of undefeated fighters to lose their O in the UFC. He got a win for us as the undefeated fighters this year, but
which he should have lost, to be fair.
Nah, he got it.
He should have lost.
He should have won this one. So
he lost this one. You know.
Terrible fight to bring up. I hate you for doing it. Are you happy? This is where it went? Are you happy about it? Was it all worth it now, Ginger? Where do we go from here? All right.
Yeah, keep yelling at him.
I know where to go from here. Oban Elliott got smashed, bruh. I was not expecting that at all.
The thing is that I wouldn't even say smashed as much as he just got super controlled. There was not a lot of damage or hurt in that fight. There was not a lot of stand-up. There was not a lot of punches. Like, it was just
he got
a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, but
and he had nothing for him. But I get your point.
Just even like in the moments of the field, like he just had nothing for him at any like just absolutely dominated from pillar to post, started start to finish. It was I just was not expecting that at all. Really good for Ko to get it done like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, though, nothing too much to really talk about the prelims. That was all good. You mentioned Daria, just having that audio.
Yeah, there wasn't much to actually be mentioned.
But Tagir got a questionable decision.
That fight was really close.
It was.
So I'm not mad at him getting it,
It just, I don't know. It felt like when he got it, he got it because he's a Beebs guy. You know what I mean? At least for me. Felt like he got the benefit of the doubt from the judges,
Maybe, but I don't think that Azat made it clearly enough his for me to be mad,
Fair.
Like it was it was just a super close fight. It was pretty evenly matched throughout the whole fight. That even if that was the case where it's like, that's Habib's guy, let's just give it to him. It's not something where it's like, bro, that was a robbery. You know what I mean? Moxa won that fight. Like he didn't, I feel like it's one of those fights where just neither of them won. Like
neither of them put a stamp on it or anything. So it's like, yeah.
But let's go. That is the UFC card from Baku. Last thing to bring up for this episode of the podcast is Tapology. Dog shit. Complete dog shit. I think it's the first time in 3 years that Ginger is on a streak in Tapology.
Yep.
Not only that, I was going back to make sure it was actually 4. And I've won 5 of the last 6 weeks.
Okay, well, that doesn't sound like a streak. That sounds like you won 4.
Yeah, what are you like? What?
Well, no, what I'm trying to say is, before this 6-week stretch, I had 4 wins. Before these 6 weeks, I have more than doubled my wins this year.
I quit.
Not allowed to.
Ginger won 3 times? In 20.
I'm pretty sure he won 6 times in the past 2 years. And then this year came around.
That's lowballing it.
No, I really don't think. I'm pretty sure there was a point we went back in 20 because we started the pod in 23. So right? Yes. So I'm pretty sure there was a time at the end of 23 that we went back and there was literally you had 3 wins. It was you had 2 wins
back to back.
Yeah, and then in November, and then you had a win in July, and that was it.
Yes.
I'm almost 100%.
I will go back and look through both fucking years. I don't think you guys realize I will do that.
Ginger, we did. You can do it. That's fine. I'm telling you, if it's not that far off. Maybe one more win, but I'm
maybe a one in February. Something, but it just.
But I'm pretty sure that it is exactly how he said.
Bro, I'm almost 100%.
And then
sure.
It was the same the year after because it was just flip flopped. It was the year of me going on my run, and then it was the year of Jimmy going on his run.
I won 14 or 12 weeks in a row, 10 weeks in a row, or something.
And I had and then it was just one of those things where we kept flip flopping, and it was the really sporadic wins for you. It was literally at most 4 times in both years, not combined, but each year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost 100% sure that's correct. We can always look back at the numbers, and I'm just saying, you might not be happy at what the numbers show. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like you guys are misrepresenting the numbers.
Well, this year, Ginger, you're putting do represent you.
You cut out for a second.
I said you're putting up numbers that do represent you, so you're getting it done this year. Very nice. It's terrible. I hate it. I'm doing so bad. I'm gonna go take a nap after this week's Tapology. I need to take a nice week-long nap, and then I'll be ready for next Tapology.
Big Tapology pay-per-view.
Yeah. But I don't even know. You came in second. I came in. I don't know. I probably got 5 fights right or something like that.
You got more than that, right? Pretty sure you got 6.
Oh. Yep, I got 6 of 12. It said I have 3 perfects, but it's because they're all decisions.
That's really funny.
Yep. Naimov decision, Ulanbekov decision, Fiziev decision. Hooray.
And you have 1 semi-perfect as well.
Yep. Sadykhov KO missed the round. Hooray.
Yes. I got 9 correct, 4 decisions, 1 perfect.
Dog shit. Absolute dog shit. Very nice, Ginger. I promise you, you're not winning on the pay-per-view. Let's go! But speaking of that, that's going to be the end of this podcast because we got to wrap it up. And we got to talk about the pay-per-view.
Yep.
So
yes, sir.
We'll catch you in a couple of days or a couple of minutes, depending on which perspective you want to look at it. Peace out, everyone. Goodbye.